All right, so eating out is phase two and phase three of the strength method, and phase two is eating out in places where they have macros or nutritional information. But phase three is what I call the fancy stuff, and you can't do the fancy stuff unless you've done phase one, which is where you weigh and measure things um, repeatedly for a long time. So I always like to say, like, you've weighed and measured, 100 things 100 times, right? And so we'll start with this. So I went out to eat, uh, and so the first thing that we had was some bread. This piece of bread. Here's how I do this, right? Really quickly. Um, Went out to eat. Got this piece of bread. What I do is I go, okay, this is about equivalent to a slice of bread that I would have, or two slices of bread that I would have at home. Let's say from a Walmart brand. So I searched my bread that I eat, and it's about 120 calories, about 24 grams. Log that. Then the next thing I had was this guy right here. So this is tuna tartare. We got raw tuna up here. We got a little sliver of avocado on the bottom and some pieces of bread. So I actually didn't end up eating that other slice of bread. I ate these four pieces of bread, which I logged as equivalent to two slices of my regular toast or bread that I know for sure. And they're roughly going to be about the same as two slices of bread. These four pieces. Then I know. So me and my wife shared this, so we had about half of this. I know that this is not more than 3 ounces of tuna. Um, Especially being at a restaurant, they control things very closely. And if you've weighed enough fish at home, you'll know, okay, this is not 4 ounces. At most, this is 4 ounces. I put this at three, so I put 1.5 ounce. So I just searched tuna sashimi at 1.5 ounces. It's roughly 8 grams of protein, and 8 times 4, since 4 calories in 1 gram gives me about 34 calories. It should be 32, but um, that's nobody got fat off of 2 calories, right? Regardless. Then I've weighed avocado enough times where I know off the top of my head that a half avocado, that's a medium sized avocado, half of it is about 45 grams. There's no way that this sliver of avocado on the bottom of this is more than, 3/4 of an avocado. I put that as a half avocado, so which is, I just rounded it to like 50 grams. So I had half of that. So I searched avocado, 25 grams since I had half of it, and those are the calories right there. Right? So this is not difficult. And you don't unlock these skills unless you've weighed things and tracked things at home. Um, and which is why I always say, like, this is phase three skills, and it's built on phase one, which is tracking as much as possible. And I should have it. I put it somewhere here. Phase one, and let's see if I could quickly find it here. Regardless, you won't know how to do that unless you track and measure things at home. That's just what it comes down to. And so, rather than being, clueless out there and not knowing and just kind of, winging it with no idea, if you spend 6 months, if you spend a year tracking, you're gonna unlock. So here's phase one. Okay. You're learning making your own food, focusing on quadrant one, single ingredient foods, or boxed, easily measured foods, right? And so spending as much time as possible in phase one is what allows phase three, right? And so that's kind of what I'm showing here with this. So after we had this was the main course, right? So this was a skirt steak and fries, so steak and frites. So this is how I go about thinking about this, okay? So as far as the skirt steak, again, you'll know when you've measured so many things, you'll know that. And also you'll know, like, a restaurant is not going to give you 8 ounces. Like, they have margins that they work off of, they have standards that they work off of. So at most, this steak, when it was, this is half of it because my wife and I shared of it, there was no way this was more than 6 ounces of skirt steak. So I just went off of 6 ounces of skirt steak, put half of that, 3 ounces. That gives me, this right here. That's accurate right there. And then as far as the fries go, again, you make it super simple. This, to me, looks about 2 servings of, if I went to McDonald's, 2 small servings of French fries. So since, again, my wife and I shared, I had 1 serving of small fries, right? And so I just searched McDonald's small fries. Boom, there you go. Now, this is how you, like, do this stuff. It's like, it doesn't need to be 100% on the dot. Nobody is gaining, dozens or multiple dozens of pounds of extra body fat because they're off by 20 calories or 50 calories or 100 calories. They're gaining all this weight because they have no idea, that how much calories are in an order of French fries. They have no idea, how many calories are in this. And on top of that, since they just order a bunch of stuff. And so on a regular basis, they're being over 500, 1,000, 1,500 calories. That's why you accumulate fat. But if you know how to do this, you're not going to ever get fat. That's just how it is. And so this whole thing that I just walked you through, which this video is at about 8.5 minutes now, 9 minutes. Like, I do that math in my head in about 60 seconds, if that, right? Including the time it takes to log it into MyFitnessPal. Is that worth it for you to stay lean and be able to eat out? That's up to you to decide. To me, the answer is yes, right? And, by the way, like, I prepared for this. I knew we were going to go out and eat, so I prepared for this I ate, quadrant one all day, which was, I ate a giant burrito, which is what this guy is, right? So this is 1 pound of food, okay? It was 93.7 beef, and so this calorie would actually have been even lower if what I usually get is 96.4 beef. So this would be lower, and the protein would be even higher, which would have given me even more room out here. But, like, all I ate during the day was a donut in the morning, this burrito, which then I was stuffed, and then I was able to eat dinner, right? So my point with this being, like, you can eat out. It's not difficult, but you got to spend the time in phase one, which is making your own food, weighing things and measuring things, because that's a skill. If you learn that skill for 6 months, like honestly, it doesn't take 6 months, but you know, I'm still weighing and tracking things, even though I've been doing this since 2012, right? Because then you start to figure out like, why would I not do this? This takes no time, you know. Anyways, so point being, like, when you unlock this skill set, you can do this anywhere, anytime, and eat whatever you want, while staying as lean as you want. So, if you have questions about any of this, and by the way, steak and frites at Left Bank. Oh, by the way, this is delicious. This was fantastic. And steak and frites is always bomb. So yeah. If you ever have any questions, let me know. And yeah, see you guys later.